feels nice. Come up to the fire, ladies.
I'm not cold.
Now, before we move things about, Mr. Hale, why don't you explain to Mr. Henderson exactly what you saw when he came here yesterday morning?
By the way, has anything been moved? Or are things exactly as you left them?
It's just the same. When it dropped below 0 last night, I sent Frank out this morning to make a fire for us. No use getting pneumonia with a big case on, but I told him not to touch anything except the stove. And you know Frank.
Somebody should have been left here yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. When I sent Frank out to Moore Center for that guy who went crazy. I want you to know I had my hands full yesterday, and I thought, since I knew you could get back from Omaha by today, as long as I came here and went over everything myself, then...
Well, Mr. Hale, tell us what happened when you came here yesterday morning.
Well, Harry and I started town with a load of potatoes. We came on the road from my place, and as I got here, I said I was going to go see if I couldn't get John Wright to go with me on a party telephone. I spoke to Wright about it once before, and he put me off, saying folks talk too much, and all he asked was some peace and quiet. There's no much to talk to himself. But I thought if I went up to the house and talked about it before his wife, what I said to Harry, I didn't know what his wife wanted to be, but it's a difference to John.
Let's talk about that later, Mr. Hale. I do want to talk about that, but till now, just what happened when you got to the house.
I didn't hear or see anything. I knocked on the door, and it was still quiet inside. It must be up. It was past 8 o'clock. So I knocked again. I thought I heard someone say, "Come in." I wasn't sure, not sure yet, but I opened the door. This door, there on that rocker, sat Miss Wright.
And what was she doing?
Well, she was rocking back and forth. She had her apron in her hand. She was sort of pleating it.
And how did she look?
Well, she looked queer.
How do you mean queer?
As if she didn't know what she was going to do next. Sort of done up.
And how did she seem to feel about your coming?
Well, I don't think she minded one way or another. She didn't pay much attention. I said, "How do, Miss Wright? It's cold, ain't it?" She said,
Is it?
and just went back, pleating at her apron. Well, I was surprised. She didn't ask me to come to the stove or sit down. She sat there, not even looking at me. So I said, "I want to see John." And she laughed. I guess you could call it a laugh. I thought of Harry and the team outside, so I said a little sharp, "Can't I see John?"
No.
Says she, kind of dull-like. "Ain't he home?" says I.
Yes, he's home.
"Why can't I see him?"
'Cause he's dead.
"He's dead?" She just nodded her head, not getting a bit excited, but just rocking back and forth. So I said, "Why, where is he?" Not knowing what to say. She just pointed upstairs. Like that. Well, I got up with the idea of going up there. I moved from there to here. Then I says, "Well, what did he die of?"
He died of a rope around his neck.
Says she. I went outside and I called Harry. I thought I might need help. I went upstairs and there he was lying.
I think I'd rather have you go into that upstairs where you can point it all out. Just go on now with the rest of the story.
Well, my first thought was to get that rope off. It looked. But Harry, he went up to him and he said, "Nah, he's dead all right. We better not touch anything." We went back downstairs and she was still sitting that same way. "Has anyone been notified?" I asked.
No.
Says she, unconcerned. "Who did this, Miss Wright?" Said Harry, kind of businesslike, and she stopped the pleating of her apron.
I don't know.
Says she. "You don't know?" Says Harry.
No.
Says she. "Weren't you sleeping in bed with him?" Says Harry.
Yes, but I was on the inside.
Says she. "Well, somebody slipped a rope around his neck and strangled the life out of him, and you didn't wake up?" Says Harry.
I didn't wake up.
Well, we must have looked as if we didn't know how that could be, for after a minute she said,
I sleep sound.
well, Harry was going to ask her a few more questions, but thought it best that she first tell her story to the coroner or the sheriff. So sent Harry as fast as he could down to the Rivers place, where it was a telephone.
What did she do when she knew you had gone for the coroner?
Well, she moved from that chair to that one over there, and just sat there with her hands together looking down. Well, I got the feeling I ought to make some conversation, so I told her how I'd come to see if John Wright wanted to put in a telephone. And then she started to laugh. Then she stopped, and she looked at me, scared. I don't know, maybe it wasn't scared. I wouldn't like to say it was. Soon Harry got back, then Dr. Lloyd came, and you, Mr. Peters, I guess that's all I know, but you don't.
Well, I guess we'll go upstairs first, and and out to the barn and around there. You're convinced that there was nothing here, nothing that would point to any motive?
Nothing here but kitchen things.
Ugh, there's a nice mess.
Oh, her fruit. It did freeze. She worried about that when it turned so cold. She said the fire'd go out and her jars would break.
Well, can you beat the woman? Held for murder and worrying about her preserves.
I guess before we're through, she may have something more serious than preserves to worry about.
Well, women are used to worrying over trifles.
And yet, for all their worries, what would we do without the ladies? Oh, dirty towels. How much of a housekeeper would you say, ladies?
There's a great deal of work to be done on a farm.
To be sure. And yet I know there are some Dixon County farmhouses which do not have such dish towels.
Those towels get dirty awful quick. Men's hands aren't always as clean as they might be.
Ah, loyal to your sex, I see. But you and Miss Wright are neighbors, I suppose you're friends, too?
I have not seen much of her late years. I have not been in this house. It's been more than a year.
And why was that? You didn't like her?
I liked her well enough. Farmers' wives have their hands full, Mr. Henderson. And then...
Yes.
Never seemed a very cheerful place.
No. It's not very cheerful. Shouldn't say she had the homemaking instinct.
Well, I don't know his right head either.
I mean, they didn't get on very well?
No, I don't mean anything, but I don't think a place could be any cheerfuler for John Wright's being in it.
I'd like to talk more of that a little later. I want to get the lay things upstairs now.
I suppose anything Mrs. Peters does will be all right. She was to take in some clothes for her, and a few little things.
Yes.
We left in such a hurry yesterday.
I would like to see what you take, Miss Peters. And keep an eye out for anything that might be of use to us.
Yes, Mr. Henderson.
Oh, I'd hate to have men coming into my kitchen, snooping around and criticizing.
Of course, it's no more than their duty.
Duty's all right, but I guess that deputy sheriff that came out to make a fire might have gotten a little of this on. Wish I'd thought of that sooner. Seems mean to talk about her for not having things slicked up when she had come away in such a hurry.
She had bread set.
It's just a shame about her fruit. I wonder if it's all gone. I think there's some that's all right in here, Mrs. Peters. Yes, here. Cherries, too. Do declare believe that's the only one. Should feel awful bad after all her hard work in the hot weather. Remember the afternoon I put my cherries up last summer.
Well, I must get those things from the front room closet. You coming with me, Mrs. Hale? You can help me carry them. My, it's cold in there.
Wright was close. I think maybe that's why she kept so much to herself. She didn't even belong to Ladies' Aid. I suppose she thought she couldn't do her part well. You don't enjoy things when you feel shabby. She used to wear pretty clothes and be lively when she was Minnie Foster, one of the town girls singing in the choir, but it was 30 years ago. Is this all you want to take in?
She said she wanted an apron. Funny thing to want, for there isn't much to get you dirty in jail, goodness knows. But I suppose just to make her feel more natural. She said they was in the top drawer in this cupboard. Yes, it's here. And then her little shawl that always hung behind the door. Yes, here it is.
Mrs. Peters,
Yes, Mrs. Hale?
do you think she did it?
Oh. I don't know.
Well, I don't think she did. Asking for her apron and little shawl, worrying about her fruit.
Mr. Peters says it looks bad for her. Mr. Henderson is awful sarcastic in his speech, and will make fun of her saying she didn't wake up.
Well, I guess John Wright didn't wake up when they were slipping that rope around his neck.
No, it's strange. It must have been done awful crafty and still. They say it was such a funny way to kill a man, rigging it all up like that.
That's just what Mr. Hale said. There was a gun in the house. He says that's what he can't understand.
Mr. Henderson said coming out that what was needed for the case was a motive. Something to show anger or some feeling.
Well, I don't see any signs of anger around here. Explain. Wonder how they're finding things upstairs. I hope she had it a little bit more read up there. You know, it seems kind of sneaky, locking her up in town and coming out here and trying to get her own house to turn against her.
But Mrs. Hale, the law is the law.
I suppose 'tis. Better loosen up your things, Mrs. Peters. You won't feel them when you go out.
She was piecing a quilt.
It's a log cabin pattern. Pretty, isn't it? What if she's gonna quilt it or not it?
They wonder if she's going to quilt it or just knot it.
Well, Frank's fire didn't do much up there now, did it? Well, let's go out to the barn and get that cleared up.
I don't know if there's anything so strange. Our taking up our time with the little things while waiting for them to get the evidence. I don't see if there's anything to laugh about.
Of course, they've got awful important things on their minds.
Here, Mrs. Peters. Here, look at this one. This is the one she was working on. And look at the sewing. All the rest of it has been so nice and even. And look at this. It's all over the place. Looks as if she didn't know what she was about.
What are you doing, Mrs. Hale?
Just pulling out a stitch or two doesn't sew very good. That's not always make me fidgety.
I don't think we ought to touch things.
Just finish up this end. Mrs. Peters,
Yes, Mrs. Hale?
what do you suppose she was so nervous about?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if she was nervous. I sometimes sew awful queer when I'm just tired. Well, I must get these things wrapped up. They may be through sooner than we think. I wonder where I can find a piece of paper and a string.
In the cupboard, maybe?
Why, here's a bird cage. Did you have a bird, Mrs. Hale?
Why, I don't know whether she did or not. I've been here for so long. There was a man around last year selling Canary's cheap, but I don't know if she took one. Maybe she did. She used to sing real pretty herself.
Seems funny to think of a bird here. But she must have had one, or why would she have a cage? I wonder what happened to it.
Suppose maybe the cat got it?
No, she didn't have a cat. She's got that feeling some people have about cats, being afraid of them. My cat got in her room and she was real upset and asked me to take it out.
My sister Betsy's like that. Queer, ain't it?
Why, look here. The door's broken off.
Looks like someone's been rough with it.
Why, yes.
I wish if they're going to find any evidence they'd be about it. I don't like this place.
But I'm awful glad you came with me, Mrs. Hale. It would be lonesome for me sitting here alone.
It would, wouldn't it? But I'll tell you what I do wish, Mrs. Peters. I wish I'd come over here once in a while if she was here. Wish I had.
But of course you're awful busy, Mrs. Hale. Your house and your children.
I could have come. I stayed away because it weren't cheerful. That's why I ought to come. I never liked the place. Maybe because it's down the hollow and you don't see it from the road. I don't know what it is, but it's a lonesome place. It always has been. Wish I'd come over to see Minnie Foster sometimes while she was here. I can see now.
Well, you mustn't reproach yourself, Mrs. Hale. Somehow, we just don't see how it is with other folks until something comes up.
Not having any children makes us work, but It makes a quiet house, and Wright out at work all day, and no company when he did come in. Did you know John Wright, Mrs. Peters?
Not to know him. I've seen him in town. They say he was a good man.
Yes. Good. He didn't drink, and he kept his word as well as most, I guess, and paid his debts. But he was a hard man, Mrs. Peters. Just to pass the time of day with him, it's like raw when that gets to the bone. I could see why she'd want a bird, but I suppose what was it?
I don't know, unless he got sick and died.
You weren't raised around here, were you? You didn't know her?
Not till they brought her yesterday.
She, come to think of it, she's kind of like a bird herself. Real sweet and pretty, but kind of timid and fluttery. Oh, she did change. Tell you what, Mrs. Peters, why don't you take the quilting with you? You might take up her mind.
Why, I think that's a real nice idea, Mrs. Hale. There couldn't possibly be any objection to it, could there? Now, just what would I take? I wonder if her patches are in here and her things.
Here's some red. Expecting this got her sewing things in it. Why? What a pretty box. Looks like something someone would give to you. Maybe her scissors are in here. Why? There's something wrapped in this piece of silk.
Why, this isn't her scissors.
Oh, Mrs. Peters, it's
The bird.
But, Mrs. Peters, look at its neck, it's all... Other side, too.
Somebody wrung its neck.
Well, ladies, have you figured out whether she was going to quilt it or just not?
We think she was going to quilt it.
Well, that's interesting, I'm sure. How's the bird flown?
We think the cat got it.
Is there a cat?
Well, not now. They're superstitious.
It's not at all of
They
it having
leave.
on the outside. Her own rope. I'll just go upstairs and go over it again, piece by piece. It would have been someone who speared the keyboard, or maybe a back door.
She liked the bird. She's gonna bury it in this pretty box.
When I was a girl, my kitten, there was a boy, took a hatchet, and before my eyes, before I could get there, if they hadn't held me back, I would have hurt him.
I wonder how it seems to never have any children around. Oh, Wright wouldn't like the bird. Something that sang. She used to sing. He killed that too.
We don't know who killed the bird.
I knew John Wright.
It was an awful thing that was done in this house that night, Mrs. Hale. Killing a man while he slept, slipping a rope around his neck that choked the life out of him.
His neck choked the life out of him.
We don't know who killed him, we don't know.
If there had been years and years of nothing but a bird to sing to you, it would be awful. Still, even after the bird was still.
I know what stillness is. When we homesteaded in Dakota, and my first baby died after he was 2 years old, and me with no other.
How soon you're supposed to be through looking for the evidence?
I know what stillness is. The law has got to punish crime, Mrs.
Oh, I
Hale.
wish we'd seen Minnie Foster when she wore a white dress and blue ribbons and stood in the choir and sang. Oh, I wish I'd come over here once in a while. That was a crime. That was a crime. Who's gonna punish that?
You mustn't take on.
I might have known she needed help. I know how it can be. For a woman. I tell you what's queer, Mrs. Peters. We live so close and so far apart. We all go through the same things, just a different kind of the same thing. If I were you, I wouldn't tell her Rupert's gone. Tell her it ain't. Tell her it's all right. Take this in to prove to her. She may never know whether it's broke or not.
My, it's a good thing the men couldn't hear us. Wouldn't they just laugh, getting all stirred up over a little thing like a dead canary? As if that could have anything to do with... Wouldn't they just laugh?
Maybe they would. Maybe they wouldn't.
No, Peters. All perfectly clear, except for a reason for doing it. But no juries when it comes to women. If only there was some definite thing, something to show, something to make a story about, something to connect up with this strange way of doing it.
You got the team around back? It's pretty cold out there.
I'm gonna stay here a while by myself. You can send Frank out for me, can't you? I want to go over everything. I'm just not satisfied and we can't do better.
Do you want to see when Mrs. Peters is going to take it?
I suppose they're not very dangerous things ladies have chosen. No, Miss Peters doesn't need supervising. For that matter, a sheriff's wife is married to the law. Ever thought of it that way, Miss Peters?
Not just that way.
Married to the law. Just come in here a minute, George. I need you to take a look at these windows.
Oh. Windows.
We'll be right out, Mr. Hale.
Well, Henry, at least we found out she wasn't going to quilt it. She was going to, what do you call it, ladies?
We call it knotted, Mr. Henderson.